Hey, I think we're live. I'm just doing a little pop-up live with you guys here today, just to give you guys a couple updates, have a little bit of fun, and possibly give me a little bit of motivation to get some stuff done. As you can see behind me, I'll get you a better angle. We got quite a bit of stuff going on at the outdoor workbench area. I've had a stupidly busy summer, and I've not really actually been home much this summer. I haven't had a full weekend at my own house since May, which is, as I said before, I said this on a previous live, absolutely crazy to me, but it's true. So we got to do some work here. I want to give you guys some updates on a couple things, just hang out a little bit today. I was planning on doing a pure archery live and talking to you guys and then doing this later, but a complication happened, which I'll tell you guys about in a minute, which means we can't totally do exactly what I wanted, but we're still going to make the best out of it. Raptor Will, awesome member, and Mark, who's an awesome supporter, awesome guy who's always in the lives, or at least he always tries to be, is in here as well. So I'm doing well. I'm going to bring you guys up for a moment so I can see you better. There you go. I'm doing well. So yeah, I'll bring you guys over here, let you see the madness. This is the product of having an entire summer where you're away from the house and you just do adventure after adventure. Your workbench ends up looking like this. I just returned yesterday. I was up at my girlfriend's house. I was there for Thursday and Friday. She moved into college yesterday, so I was there helping her move in, and her dad has a truck, so he brought back the big shark rod from North Carolina, because we drive my dad's car, which is an Acura MDX, to North Carolina, not my truck, so this 6-foot, when broken into two pieces rod doesn't really fit super well, so he brought that back for me, picked that up yesterday. I have a brand new bow, which I'm going to talk about when a couple more people come in here. I'm really only going to talk about it and show it because of a complication, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. Just talking, getting some stuff ready, getting some stuff unpacked. I guess we will keep, he gave me this rod sleeve. He fishes, just not as much anymore as he used to. So he has a lot of these rod sleeves laying around. He said I could have this one. That's perfect because this shark rod sits dormant for like 95% of the year and I only pull it out on special occasions. So this keeps it nice and tidy. I will leave that on there. Yeah, one of the other things, which I guess this live is good for, getting me to look at some of the stuff that I haven't taken care of yet. I put in a warranty email like a couple months ago, and then left for vacation, never got it back around to it. Never got a response from Cast King. This rod is perfectly fine. However, I don't know if you guys, how familiar you guys are with rod construction, but most of the rods in these little eyelets have like tungsten carbide or ceramic or stainless steel inserts to make it nice and smooth and keep it durable. Well, this one has tungsten carbide and this one shattered and the eyelet fell out. So I'm gonna try and get them to give me a replacement half of the rod. But I sent the email in June, nobody ever responded to me, and then I never got back to them because I was on a million vacations and going places for different events and all sorts of fun stuff. So another product, I'm going to sit this over by the door so I know I have to take care of it. All right, we got Glenn. We've been wondering where you were on Skeeters. Where I was? What do you mean where I was? Like for lives? I've done a couple lives recently, Glenn. I'm not sure if you saw them. You have to clarify what you mean. Ozarks is in here. Thanks for coming in, Randy. Can't be here for a long time, but we'll stay as long as I can. All right, well, I'll get the important part out of the way while a couple important people are in here. So, stay there. Nope, camera's going back down slowly. Hold on. Bear with me. There we go. So, ta-da, new bow. As many of you guys know, if you saw the community post, I bought a brand new compound bow. I cannot shoot it today, however, because as I said, I was moving my girlfriend into her dorm at college yesterday. The current theory, this could be wrong and I could have just misplaced it. We got the best people in the business working on it, aka my girlfriend's dad, who's an awesome person. He actually gave me the previous compound bow I was using. He's done a lot to help me in my outdoor journey because none of, like my parents, they aren't outdoorsmen. He is, so he's showed me a lot of stuff along the way, which has been really helpful. But he used to shoot archery, and he's looking for my release where I said it might be, but I don't have my release. I think I stuck it in the under seat compartment of my truck, which my truck was being heavily utilized as a vehicle to move stuff and help my girlfriend move into her dorm. And in the process, I think my release got misplaced. So I don't have a release to shoot the bow with, but I can show it to you. So we're working on that. I'm either going to find my release or buy another one, which would be unfortunate, but it is what it is. So bring this over here, and I'll show you guys the brand new bow. Give you the first look. I have shot it since buying it at their house. They've got a nice wooded section. I brought this target up there with me, and I shot it from 20 and 30. So I've got a good pin on my sight for 20 and 30 so far. But there she is. Let's get it right there so you can see it. Case is brand new. It fits this bow a lot better than the other one would have. If you guys are familiar, that case is super, super long because the other bow I shoot is really long after the axle. This one's not. Well, it's still longer than most, but this is a 32-inch axle to axle. I'll read some chats in a moment. It is the Elite Terrain, brand new. I'll draw it back here in a minute and then not let it go because that would be dumb. Let's read some chats. Will's getting ready to go out to dinner. Awesome. Gabriel, how's it going? Fishing with Cooper, how's it going? Show us the 10-inch axle. The 10-inch axle to axle will be really short. So if anyone's not familiar, tripping over the case, it's not bad. If anyone's not familiar, axle to axle is the distance from this point where the wheel turns to this point where the wheel turns. So this is 32 inches axle to axle. The other one I shoot is like 45 for a variety of reasons, but most bows nowadays aren't that long. So here's brand new bow. I spent way less money on this than I thought I was going to for a variety of reasons. There were some good sales. There's a case behind me. Yeah, I thought I would miss it with my foot. I just clipped it just a little bit and tripped myself. So I just moved it completely out of the way. I've got plenty of room now. I look upset? No, I'm not upset. Well, a little bit about the release. That's annoying if I have to buy another one. But I was going to upgrade it at some point anyway. I guess that just expedites the process. It is a nice shade of green. There were two options in stock at the shop, green and tan, and I opted for this one. But this is a really nice bow. Had my eye on this one, got to go shoot it before I bought it, and I really like it. I have it set to 65 pounds, which Easton's in. I was talking to him about this the other day. It's brand new bow. Here it is. Elite Basin. There you go. Oh no, this is the Terrain, not the Basin. I think I said Basin already. The Basin's its little brother, who I shot last time I was at the shop. This has the same riser and such. It has a different cam system though, so. Can't fish with that. I'm gonna set the other bow up as a bow fishing setup. I talked to the previous owner of it and said, what do you think about that? He said, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that would definitely work. So I shot one of those the other day. Yeah. Yeah, this is set to 65 pounds, draw weight of 27 inches, or draw length. Good Lord. Draw length of 27 inches. I have a, check that out. I have a 3-pin sliding sight. So it's a normal 3-pin but it slides up and down so I can get some extra range out of it. Set that up. I have a front and back bar system on it. The guy at the archery shop, the guy at Lancaster Archery was like really super knowledgeable and helpful, so shout out to him. He gave me, because I've never shot with front and back bars and it takes a little getting used to, he gave me a progression to go with. So he said start by shooting just the front bar with 1 ounce on it. When I get used to that, slap the back bar on there with 2 ounces, and then go another ounce on here, another ounce on here, another ounce on here, another ounce on here, and then I have all my ounces filled up. So I'm just starting with this, but yeah, set to 65 pounds. Still just got a basic whisker biscuit on it, sliding sight. Yeah, I'll draw it back. I'm not going to let it go because that would be dumb. And I also don't have a release to shoot, which I explained a minute ago. But 65 pounds. I'll come all the way back here so you guys can see. There you go. And then it sits in that valley really nice. It doesn't want to move almost at all, which is unlike the other bow I was using. It's very nice to hold. But when it goes hard. So, yeah, I like it a lot. Shot probably 40 shots through it outside of the shop so far. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's a girl compound bow. I thought it was a man's compound bow. What's a girl's compound bow? This? This isn't a girl's compound bow. This is an adult male compound bow. At least that's what it's advertised as. So, the basin I guess you could call it that, but it's realistically like a teenager bow that could go into adult because it's like ultra adjustable. That's the whole point of the basin. And that's why it has a different cam system to make it super adjustable. And the basin was nice, but they said because it's so adjustable, it has a hard time staying in tune and all that sorts of things. And it gets a little wonky when you get it up to higher draw weights like 65 and 70, which obviously if I have it set at 65, then that's one thing. So yeah, this is definitely not like I don't know what you mean by a girl bow. I guess they do have women's bows, but this is not a women's bow. This is just a normal adult male bow, which is what most bows are. Most bows they sell in the shop. So yeah, I like it. As I said, can't shoot it today because of not having a release right now, which is annoying, and there's the possibility we could find it somehow, but I don't think we will because of where I think it is. So I think it's sitting outside a college dorm room on the street because I think it got knocked out as we were unloading the truck to move her in. So some people are just jealous and will say anything. No, Van Helsing's a nice guy. I talk to him sometimes. I don't know what he means. I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to. If he's still in here, I guess he could let us know. But yeah, I'll draw it one more time. I'll draw it slow this time. It's very nice and smooth, even though it's significantly heavier in draw weight compared to what I was shooting. Still very smooth, but like when you let go on it, it rockets. The IBO speed on this is 325, which means almost nothing. But the actual speed out of this with my arrow setup should be somewhere around 280 feet per second, which is pretty doggone good. So yeah, new bow. Wanted to show you guys, especially for people like Randy and Will who are leaving shortly. There's that quick release on the little front bar setup. Just lay that down in the case right there. And I'll bring you guys over here. Keep working on this bench. You guys got to keep me motivated to do this because I've got a lot of stuff to do today, and this really isn't high up in my mental priority list, but it probably should be. So, alrighty. I'm going to reset the chat here for a sec. Alright, there we go. Okay. So, this. Toss it in the pile to go over here. Yeah, it is pretty powerful. I was talking to Easton about it the other day. I very well could set it to 70, like you guys saw. 65 pounds, draw weight there. Not a problem at all for me. However, because of what I'm planning to do with this bow, which is a lot of shooting at the range, just, fun stuff, doing lives with it where I shoot for an hour, 2 hours, have a lot of volume. Some 3D shoots where it's long and you got to draw it a lot. If I was just hunting with this, I'd probably set it at 70 because you realistically sit up there in a tree stand, you draw it once when you need to hit that shot and you let it go. That's fine. But if I'm going to draw this thing 80 times in a day, that 5 pounds is going to make a difference. So I decided to go with 65. I weigh 165 pounds and I lift quite frequently. And as we were talking about the other day, sometimes it's just ego. To me, there's nothing wrong with 65 pounds. Could I do 70? Yeah. Do I care if people are like, why aren't you shooting 70? Not really. Like, I could. I just feel like that's a better number for me right now. I'm not even sure if I ever will bump it up. Maybe if I weighed like 180, but I don't know if I'll even get there. So, people stop growing eventually. I don't know when I'm going to stop growing. Will I be hunting with it this winter? No, I don't think so. Next year, probably. But yeah, and I got a hat with it. Elite hat, which is the brand of the bow. Alright, let's keep going through stuff. So that paper goes over there. I was using that for a DIY paper tuning setup for the other bow. This came with me on my my kayak camping trip, which you guys saw the live for. At least some of you did. Yeah, I don't know if Van Helsing left. I don't know what he was referring to, but I'd really like to know, because that was a very confusing statement. I'm curious. So yeah, this container goes in here. All right. Just drop that right here. This is my kayak anchor. That can go right here. I'd be towards the end of this in a couple minutes. We'll get out the recurve bow and shoot that, just so we get some archery in the live, some real shooting. I don't know. I guess we can have a vote if we want to take the atlatl with it too. We can do some recurve and atlatl. But yeah. GoPro batteries. This goes upstairs. Toss that over there. GoPro batteries. Charger, the actual GoPro, my chest mount. That was all stuff that I was using while fishing the other day. Which we caught stuff, but nothing interesting. What was that? Yeah. This has not been organized pretty much since maybe May. And then my summer was nuts. I was all over the place doing lots of adventures. And this stuff got pulled in and out, but it never really got put back in its proper spot. So more GoPro stuff. Gold panning tools, which go downstairs. Make a pile right here for that. Gold pan. My little gold shovel. I am working on the gold panning video, but that one is a heck of a video that I'm working on. Coal Region Explorers in, stopping to say hi. At a concert in Shamokin. Interesting. Can't speak. But I'm appreciative of you stopping by. I need these to stay out here. These are my yard work sunglasses for when I'm like using the weed whacker or lawn mowing so that I don't take out my eye with a rogue rock. Okay. See, here you go. This is cool. This knife is an old K-bar. I don't know if it says the model. No, but an real old K-bar with a homemade sheath that was my great-great-grandfather's. And it was given to me by my great-uncle as a graduation gift. So yeah, I have that one, which I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to put it someplace cool. That's a cool one to have. Look at the handle on it, too. It's really cool. But, yeah, that's just been sitting on the bench since June when I got it as my graduation gift. Because, as I said, haven't had a chance to organize this. I've been all over the place. I go to, my first day of college is Monday. So, yeah. We are working on getting back into the swing of that here shortly, which I think should be fun. I was also given, which I think was also my great-great-grandfather's. They still make these, and these are pretty common. So this is actually going to be one I use. The other one will probably just be more display type piece. This is a martini fillet knife. Most of the time I use my my Cutco fillet knife that like is, you can change it to different lengths, has a really cool sheath, all that sort of stuff. But this could be a nice one to have as well. Has a cool leather sheath. I'll probably actually use that one. Phone pouch that I took with me to protect from water on my kayak camping trip for my phone. Ryan Daniels in town. Not familiar with him. Hair rigs. That goes back in here. More hair rigs. I was rigging up for carp the other day. See, these types of lives are probably somewhat interesting because, as you guys know, I do all sorts of outdoor stuff here on the channel, and when I organize the outdoor bench, you guys get to like see all of it like all at once, which is kind of how my brain works. So this bench is kind of how my brain works. All the different outdoor activities at the same time. So, bank line. I'm not sure why this is out. Oh, I know why this is out. This was crab line at the beach. So, just kind of tuck this back in here. 20-pound leader, which I was using for carp as well. Stay with me for 2 seconds. Going to reconnect the chat. All right, we're back. So, this is, of course, all tangled up. Yeah. There you go. You guys saw this short. So, my first day of class is Wednesday, and after class I'm going to go to Lancaster for a few days, then go to Gettysburg and up to Williamsport area, hoping to go fishing during traveling. Yeah, you said you'd be here up in PA over Labor Day weekend. Let me know where you are on Labor Day, because I'll be off, or even that weekend. I'll be out and about in different places. But if you're available, I'll come and see you. Maybe we can go fish somewhere. Figure that out. But yeah, these are pieces of slag, some good pristine pieces that I saved to try and do some flint napping in the future, which if you don't know what that is, stay tuned. That's probably going to be something I try this winter when I'm bored and the fish aren't biting. Flint napping. I'm going to try it. So bag of slag, which I'll put up in my room for now. I actually organized with me getting into rock hounding and back into shell collecting. I organize like a little collection area where I can look at stuff, analyze stuff up in my room. So this can go there. My general plan is I've got plenty of space in the setup I have. Once I fill that space, I have to start culling stuff. I can't like have more than what fits there, which is fine because as I find cooler and cooler stuff, the more mundane stuff, which is still cool, otherwise I wouldn't pick it up at all, I won't feel upset about getting rid of because I've got even cooler stuff. And I think I'm going to do stuff like send that to people. I don't know if Randy's still in here, but I have a bag of shells that I'm going to be sending him. Randy from Ozark Great Adventures, an awesome dude, lives in Missouri. He's apparently never even seen the ocean, which I think is crazy. So I'm going to send him a whole bag of seashells that I found this year. I've got like 70 in there to send him. So, yeah, that sort of stuff. Just send cool stuff out to you guys, little care package giveaway type stuff. I'm thinking about, there's a lot of possibilities of stuff I can give away without having much cost to me. Obviously, I want to give back to you guys, but at the same time, I can't like spend all my money to do so. So making slings, doing leather projects, which that video will come eventually as well. Giving you guys cool finds that I find, out in the woods as far as rock hounding sort of stuff, hand-tied flies. I can do all that stuff, and then the only thing I have to pay for is shipping. So I think that's going to be something that I do here in the future. A random 1 ounce fishing weight, spools of bleeder, you got on my line holder, a bin, which I don't know what I put in there, but it's always good to have another bin. My KZ floating sunglasses, they can go right there. Randy says I'm back for a few. I was just talking about you, Randy. I've been super busy, and as people in the chat know, I just said I'm going back to college. Not going back, going to college. I will be a freshman in mechanical engineering. I think credit-wise, technically, I think I'm a sophomore technically with my AP credits. Not sure if that's true, but I might be. But I'm going in Monday for my first day. I was there earlier for some orientation, like get to know other people, social event type thing, and I left a bit early. Come back and get some stuff done, like what I'm doing right now. So, but yeah, I've been super busy, but I'm going to send out your bag of shells shortly. That's the point I was trying to get to. So, these are heavy-duty swivels, which I used for shark and ray rigs. Members know and have seen some footage of me catching a large fish on the setup with one of these in there this year, and I've caught 3 other big ones on the setup using these heavy-duty swivels. So, and then a steel leader, which I had for similar reasons. So this can go back in here. And then these go back in here. A 4 ounce weight. No, that's a 6 ounce. Oh boy, that's a big boy. Williamsport, Lewisburg area during Labor Day, and I'll be headed back through to New Jersey on Tuesday, September 2nd. Tuesday, September 2nd. That's one of my late days at college. So you're heading from, I'll text you, Will, and I'll see if I can fit a spot in my schedule to at least, go fish a spot for an hour or two, something like that. I'll be at college on Tuesday, so I'll actually be doing stuff. Monday, I'm off, and then Sunday, we have obligations. Saturday, I don't like throughout the day. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do. My handy lighter. If you do anything with the outdoors, you always should have a lighter around. I use it for burning the ends of nylon cord. I use it for lots of things. Fixing stuff up, you can kind of use this to melt down stuff and seal stuff up. Obviously use it to start fires. You can use it to sterilized needles for if you need first aid stuff. Lighter's a ideal first aid, repair, survival, all sorts of thing tool. So I just keep one of these in several places throughout my outdoor arsenal. Keep some in my kits to actually go out in the field. Keep one at this bench, keep one at my bench downstairs. Actually, I have two down there, but yeah, good stuff to have. These are my bushcraft gloves. Have you ever made a video on how to make an ideal compact kayak fishing tackle box? No, and here's why. Because I generally covered what my entire tackle system is in a separate video a couple years ago. Which frankly, like for YouTube stuff, hold on here about 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. Thanks to those of you who stuck with me. My dad called me real quick. I wanted to make sure nothing was wrong. So, River Rat Life, I see he just popped in. I don't know if anybody's still here. But yeah. Anyway, the reason why I didn't do that is because against conventional YouTube wisdom, I like to put stuff in one thing so people have a central source of information, because I'm doing this for the fact that I like it and to help out other people, not for like getting some sort of if I get views, that's awesome, but if I don't, it's okay. So I made a video about my entire tackle system and how I have a tackle box. There goes all my stuff. Tackle box this size, and it's modular, and then a smaller one that goes in that bag. I did a whole video explaining all of that from the multi-species fishing aspect or perspective. I did that a while back, and that exists up on the channel. Doing specifically kayak fishing stuff, I'd probably mention it in a video where I am kayak fishing, but I'm not going to do a video on that because all the information to gather an idea about how to do that is in the main video. So, yep, for sure. He's also hasn't been home. Ugh, everyone's going places nowadays. Primarily me. I'm all over the place. As I said many times before, my girlfriend lives an hour and a half away, so I'm up there sometimes. I'm on different trips for making content. My college is 40 minutes away, so I go up there sometimes. Like I'm all over the place all the time. And now my dad's not here, so he hasn't been here for 2 days. So I want to make sure I answered when he called. Anyway, yeah. These are my bushcraft gloves. My brain's going in so many different ways today. I'm sorry if I'm like incoherent, but bushcraft gloves, they go in a bin under here, so I'm going to just wait to put them away. Let's move this. This is fishing tackle bag. Here's my smaller tackle box. Okay, this is one of the things that needs to actually have some work done on it. This is the bucket that I took to both beach vacations. Has a whole bunch of stuff in it that needs to be put away. So here's the main fillet knife that I typically use. That goes onto the bench in one of those bins. Here's my fillet bag, my fillet kit bag. That still smells, so we gotta wash that out. Okay. Look at this mess. A little stress. There's a lot of stuff going on in my head right now, Randy, for sure. I'm not necessarily stressed, but like my brain's trying to go in a whole bunch of different ways. As I mentioned, I'm not like, I definitely wouldn't categorize myself as nervous for it, but it's, you know, an interesting thought to think that I actually will be starting college in like 3 days. So there's that. My girlfriend just started college, and unlike me, who I'm commuting, she's actually living there, so she just moved in. I just got back from a trip. My summer's ending, all sorts of stuff. And then my September, which it's almost September, is not going to be any less busy than my summer is, which is nuts. So I'm thinking about all that and how that's going to work. So as I mentioned, I haven't had a full weekend at my house since like May. I I don't think I'm going to until at least October, because my September currently looks like Labor Day weekend. I'll have a dog sitting job, so I won't be sleeping at my house. Um, I have we're going away for a we're going away for the not graduation, Labor Day party. You just said graduation in your chat. Um, we're going away for a Labor Day party. I believe that's on Sunday, so obviously won't be here the whole weekend, which is okay. I'll be sleeping at the dog's house. The Labor Day party is just a day thing, but I'll actually be sleeping at the house that I'm doing dog sitting for, so I won't be at my house. The next weekend, that one's up in the air. I could possibly get a weekend to myself, but it's also possible that a family friend, they might be going away. They own a farm, and they have a really awesome pond for fishing on that farm. So, like, if this ends up working out, we can definitely do some awesome fishing lives that weekend. But they might be going away, and they said, "Hey, Nolan, could you, feed all the animals and like live at our house for the weekend, make sure our animals are okay if we go away?" I said, "Yeah, I can do that," which will be really fun. But it goes to my point of saying, like, if that happens, I won't be at my house. So, I possibly will have a job of feeding all the animals and being like the farm worker for that weekend. The weekend after that, the 11th, 12th. I'm going to Uprise Fest, which is a Christian music festival in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. My girlfriend and I are going to that. So I believe the general plan is staying at her parents' house, and then driving back and forth to Shippensburg every day. And then that last weekend, we're going back to the mountains. Oh, and then the weekend after that, we're going to Colorado again. So unless I don't have the opportunity to do that thing on the farm, I'll have at least 5 more weeks where I won't spend a full weekend at my house, which, I don't know. I'm 18. I guess this stuff happens. Seems like your graduation was a couple weeks ago. Time has went fast, for sure. I made a lot of money this summer, did a lot of fun things, but frankly, which I'm surprised I'm saying it, I'm looking forward to not only to just, learning at college, because I'm very excited about learning how to be a mechanical engineer. That seems awesome. But, like, the whole just settling into a routine where I'm not constantly changing what I'm doing, not constantly going somewhere else, packing for another trip, I think will be good for me to just slow down for a little bit, because for 3 or 4 months, all I've had is just whoosh on me. So, a lot of good came with it, but like right now I'm a little bit like, okay, I'm ready for it to calm down, which it won't for at least another month, but we'll get there. We will get there. So this is the mess of stuff that's down in this bucket. This is a crabbing rig. Toss that right there. First order of business for me at the moment is to somehow untangle this. All I want to get out in the first place is the shark rig, and then we can move from there. Ooh, I think I found a way where I can do this. Yes, there we go. Randy says, seems like oh, that's the previous one. I used to attend a Christian music festival every year in West Texas called Rock the Desert. There you go. I've been to a lot of cool concerts this year. So that'll be another one. That was my parents' and her parents' graduation gift to us. Because they were like, well, this is dumb. We're going to give you, this is words from my mom. She said, well, this is dumb. We're going to give her money, and their family's going to give you money. It's like we're just exchanging money, and that seems dumb. So they both went in and bought us the tickets for this festival, which is super nice of them and super cool. I think it'll be really enjoyable, and good thing for us to do and hang out at. Here's the shark rig, 150-pound steel cable with a big old circle hook. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put this, but I'm going to kind of just hold it up for now. you go. Got sand all over it still. Because as I said, this bucket was from the beach. Get the sand out of the joint. There you go. Grippers. Oh boy. You got another big weight. This is a 6 ouncer. 6 ounce weight. We got a bunch of weights in the bottom here. Some surf fishing bonanza. I'll probably be going back down to do some more saltwater stuff in November, just like we did last year. You guys have seen that video. It's up on the channel. Hopefully actually catching stripers this time. That's planned tentatively for sometime in November with the Anything crew. Probably on a Friday, because I only have one class on Friday early in the morning. And I have it 3 times throughout the week. So I'd only be missing 55 minutes worth of class work. And by November, I'd have some good friends in class to where I could be like, hey, can you take notes for me? Send me over some stuff. So missing one day of classes on a Friday where I have literally one class won't be that big of a deal. I'd probably just take off the Friday, go with them, and rock that out. Hopefully get ourselves a striper. But I think that's the next time that I'll end up back down at saltwater this year. We did some good saltwater stuff. I did some in New Jersey in June. Did some in July. We went to Maryland and North Carolina. And then we did, yeah, just that. And then we're going to do North Carolina, or New Jersey again, so. Another weight. We're just working on getting all the weights right now. I know this isn't the most entertaining thing, but I like chatting with you guys. Hopefully you guys like getting some info on what's going on. I've got lots of projects that I'm always working on. And I mean, there's always priorities with everything that's going on lately. I've had to put some of the projects on the back burner. So it'd be nice to be able to get back to some of those. Is the weather getting cooler there yet? I mean, a little bit. It's in the 80s, I believe, today. So. More weights. We got this guy. I don't know why I put that back in that pocket. Ooh, you guys will find this interesting. Which I found it somewhat comedic because, you know, I'm 18 years old. I'm a technical full adult, and we're still doing like elementary school icebreakers, but we were doing some icebreakers at the thing, and there were like 400 incoming college freshmen there at my school, something like that. I don't know what the exact number was, and we all did a rock paper scissors tournament. Like, you do it with the person next to you. If you win, you go do this other person, do this other person. And I was the ultimate champion of rock paper scissors, so I was like, out of 400 people, I was the victor. And I got called up on stage because I was the champion. I beat like 14 people on my way. I actually did have like some mental strategy, but obviously it's still luck. I know, I've heard it before, that paper is the, like, statistically the least thrown one. So, cause it was not best out of 3, it was just 1. So I just kept throwing paper every single time, and that worked. And then I knew the second to last guy I had, well, no. Yeah, the second to last guy I had to do, I knew he watched me throw a paper before the previous 2 times. So I knew he was expecting that. So I was like, I don't know if he's going to throw paper or if he's going to throw scissors to try and, like, you know, take my move, or if he's going to try and cut me with scissors. So what I did is I went, boom, scissors, and then he also had scissors. And I was like, okay. And I was like, what do I do here? So I went back to paper, and I got him, and then I won. I threw paper like 10 times in a row, and it worked out. So. This live's kind of random, but Sometimes you gotta have those. Just connect with the audience. I'm thinking to do another members live here at some point. Hopefully getting my uncle, who's now a member, because he lives in Colorado and would like to see the content, whether I can show it to him in person or not. Hopefully get him up on panel doing some gold panning after I get the actual gold panning video up. So we're going back to Colorado in October, early October. And given that information, possibly before October, sometime in September, get him up on the panel doing some gold panning in Colorado. I'll be doing something here on panel, and then you guys can pop up as well. So I'll have to talk to him and see what he wants to do with that. This is a hook I was trying to use for gar. If you've never fished for gar or never seen gar, they have like teeth and their mouths are very bony. They're hard to hook. So I have a treble hook, which would increase the chances that I hook it. And I had some rope, which a lot of people use to get tangled in their teeth and help them stay on the hook. So I was fishing for gar. It didn't work out. But there's my gar hook. We got ourselves the spoon, which I took the treble hook for gar off of. So much stuff to go through. Ugh. What else do we have to do? Just to give myself a change of pace. That I already did. I'm just going to pull everything off the main level of the bench and reorganize it. I need some water. So, bring you guys over here. You can get some water. We got a stack of water right here. Usually I'd go inside, but I'm live, so I'm just going to drink this. I've been extremely busy too, possibly moving. Yeah, you told me about that. Been trying to sell my house. Deaths in family. I'm sorry for that. Sickness in family, work, etc. My channel has suffered badly, but YouTube ain't everything. Absolutely. I've been doing well through my business because a lot of my business has been stuff I can use for content, like all my different trips and stuff. We've been up to the mountains a lot. We've been to two different beaches, stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely, sometimes you just gotta slow down a little bit. Oh. Okay, I've just been moving stuff in and out of this bench area all summer long as I've been all over the place doing different events, doing different trips, all that sort of thing. And I had the plan to, over my break from work and 4th of July, because we had that whole week off, do my kayak camping trip, and it didn't work out, so it got pushed to last week. Last week. So, yes, last week. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. It got pushed to last week, which I had a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I still got to do it, and it was really awesome, but, you know, it was just in the middle of a whole bunch of other busyness, too, so that was something. This is the headrest of our beach chair that we took to Cape May in June, very early June, and it's been there ever since. Chuck that out there and go grab that, put it in the shed with the chair in a minute. You got the Infinite Mini Rod, which I made a video on this summer. I can go right here. Oh, lots of stuff. So if there's anybody in here who does archery stuff, because I know people come and go, let me know, because I'm looking for suggestions for a new release. I have criteria for what I want, but I think I'm gonna have to buy a new release. So gotta go for now. I enjoyed it. Congrats on the new bell. Yeah, I'm real happy with it, and I got it for a lot less money than I thought I was gonna have to spend on it, which is always a great thing to have happen to you. Thanks for stopping in, Randy. 50 minutes in. I'll probably stop it at right about an hour. Just wanted to chat with you guys, give you guys a little update on some stuff, and give me some motivation to get going on this organization process here. Still got a lot of work to do. I'll probably put on a podcast or something and get working on this. Oh, I really wish I could air condition the garage. Paracord, random paracord. Got this bin. Let's get all this stuff out of this bin. Because this bin does not go here. This bin needs washed out, so I'll slide that over there towards the garage exit. Alright, we're almost to a point to where it's like manageable. These are rocks from the Schuylkill River that I'm going to crush up in my gold crusher to pan them for gold. That's got to go downstairs. Archery stuff. Let's put this back in the archery equipment bag. That goes in the bucket. So let's finish the bucket. Doing fishing. How's it going? We are just giving you guys some updates today, talking over some cool stuff that's been going on. I'm working on organizing my outdoor bench, which definitely needs some work because I have been all over the place this summer. I mentioned it a couple times in this live already, but I have not spent a full weekend at my house since May. So between all the different trips I've been doing, all the different events I've been doing, all sorts of stuff, this bench has just been put something in, grab something out, put something in, grab something out, and it has been very disorganized. We're trying to fix that today. I go back to school, go to my first day of college on Monday. My first class is on Monday. So I'm going to try and settle back into some sort of routine with that, and I want to make sure this is organized and ready to go before, we're back to doing that. So yeah, not fishing today. Sorry about that. But as I'm going through, I'll be talking about some fishing things because I have, lots of fishing stuff sitting here that I'm organizing, included in the pile of stuff that I'm trying to get fixed. So this is mesh for my crabbing setup. It helps the crab's legs get tangled up and hold on a little bit longer. First day of school Monday too. Have you been in a live before? I think you have. Let me know on my channel. And then let me know how old you are, because sometimes I don't remember these things. Alright, so this is the 60 pound. This is a 60 pound mono leader that I have been using this summer for rigging up on my big setups. So the shark setup, the shark and ray setup, fishing for skate, that sort of stuff. I've been using 60 pound leader. Most of the time I've been using steel as like the main leader, but this has been a shock leader to kind of, because mono stretches, to absorb some of that energy as those big fish are taking runs and doing big head shakes. This has been my shock leader. This is sitting in the bottom of this bucket, and we're trying to get that organized. Oh boy. Another weight that we gotta get. Yeah, let me know how old you are so that way I've got an idea of like what grade you're going into for school. By the way, you said school and not classes or college. I imagine you are middle school, high school type age. which I just left. I will be a freshman in college, so 12 years old. So what's that put you in? Sixth? Seventh? Sixth or seventh, probably? Anything monumental in my... Oh, seventh. Yeah, COVID happened in my 7th grade year, so I'm wishing you a better 7th grade year than I had. We got dismissed for the pandemic in my 7th grade year. I hope it goes well too. Yeah, I'm wishing the best for you, man. Stay on top of homework and stuff. Don't slack on it, so that way you still have those opportunities to go fishing when you want to, all that sort of stuff. I know in 7th grade, homework probably isn't like the biggest deal ever. You're not having like hours upon hours, but get in the habit of doing it, like, and staying on top of it. Build those habits early, because like as you get into your upper high school years and you have the option to take harder classes, and especially when you get to college, like if you don't stay on top of it, you're going to be in a bad spot, and then it's just going to make your life miserable. Like, you can get it done and you can get good grades and all that, but like you're not going to be able to enjoy anything if you don't stay on top of it. You think like, oh yeah, I can go out and enjoy stuff and then do it later and still enjoy stuff, but then it makes all that more stressful because you know in the back of your head like, oh, I'm behind. So not fun. I've done that. Luckily I got out of that habit pretty quickly. But all right, more water. I'm thinking. Okay. So one of the things I'm struggling with as I'm organizing the bench here is that I have some random things that don't necessarily have a good spot. Like this. This is a really cool piece of wood I found in one of my videos. It's titled like why campgrounds are awesome or something like that, or like this is why campgrounds are awesome, something like that. It's not too, the video is not too old. It's a couple long form videos back. I found this really reddish piece of wood, and I have 2 of the offshoots of that I cut and kept so I could do some projects with them, because I thought, you know, they're really cool looking pieces of wood. And I don't necessarily know where I'm going to put something like this. So I got to find out where I'm going to do that. And then my atlatl, which is over here, also another fairly recent video. I built the atlatl, the spears, and then the thrower for it. I built all this in a video. We can go do this real quick and then come back for anybody who hasn't seen this. And then you can go watch the full video of how I built it if it interests you. So let's go this way because that's the way the sun is. We'll go like this. And then if you look, let me flip this around. Stuck in the ground, a couple 100 feet down there. It's like a 150-foot throw, something like that. Alright, flip this back around that way. Oh, you've seen one of this? That's awesome. Yeah, I built this one in a video and tested it out, and you know, I've been practicing with it, done a live with it, all sorts of fun stuff like that. But this is a new addition to my outdoor arsenal of fun, so I'm not exactly sure where to put it. Right now it's sitting in my rod holder, but that can't be a permanent spot. So let me go grab that spear. There you go. Alright, got that back. Whoa, sorry about that, guys. So yeah, right now it is sitting in my shorter rod holder, my portable rod holder, which I use for running up and down like the beach and different areas like that with carp rods or catfish rods or surf rods. It's good for larger rods when I have a lot of setups with me, my rod runner, but it can't stay there. So trying to figure out stuff with that. For people just popping in, I know there's not a lot of people right in here. I probably screwed up the algorithm when I answered the phone in the middle of a live because it was my dad calling and I didn't know what he needed, so I wanted to make sure nothing was wrong. But earlier in the live, this is my brand new bow, my new compound bow set to 65 pounds. Just bought this thing, it's brand new. There you go. So I haven't got a chance to shoot this on this live, which I wanted to because I was moving my girlfriend into college and I chucked the release for the bow back into the under seat storage compartment for the truck. And I think it got misplaced as we were unloading stuff from my truck out to her dorm. So I think that's the current theory. It could have just gotten misplaced somewhere else, but I think that's what it is. And if that's true, I'm going to have to buy another release to get back to shooting this bow, which is not ideal. So, yeah. But the main archery range that I shoot at right now is still closed. The renovations on it were supposed to finish in June, and it is now, obviously, late August, and it is still closed. So, I'm not sure why. Hopefully in September it's back up and running. People are going to have a fit if it's not back up and running in September because people need to like sight in their bows for deer season. People are going to have a fit if it's not ready for September. So, but anyway, hopefully we can get back to that range shortly. I got everything off the shelf, which means I'm kind of to a good spot to where I can start putting stuff back and organizing stuff properly. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for about an hour. Just gave you guys some updates, talked to you guys a little bit. I was planning on doing a live today. I think I'm going to release a short this evening as well. But I was planning on doing archery and that didn't work out because we don't have the release. So, yeah, thanks for stopping in, anybody who did. I appreciate your time, even if I messed up the algorithm and now I'm not getting many views. But, hey, it's not what's important. I just appreciate getting to hang out with you guys. So, yeah, I'm going to probably pop a podcast on and go full grind to get this whole setup organized and then register the warranty for the bow, maybe do a little bit of video editing, and yeah, that's kind of what the rest of my night looks like. I probably need to lift today too because I didn't lift at all in the past 2 days because I was with my girlfriend into college. So, yeah. Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. As always, I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully you guys continue to have an awesome day today. See ya.